Hello, welcome to Cards of the Week. I am Bison, and with me today is Wusheng, Sing.
Xian, what? You stole my line. Okay, whatever. Podcast, because have failed to mention the date, March 9th to March 13th of 2015. I assume I'll be doing the readings, which
If you want, I could do it.
nah, I feel like doing it. Sure. Mickey Holmes. Let's just start off. First card, the Wish to Find a Resolution Ellie, green character 1/0, 2.5k, detective and book trait. First ability is assist all of your characters in front of this card gain plus 500 power. Second ability is when any of your characters trigger a climax during a trigger check, and the trigger icon is a treasure, you may pay the cost, which is dish one card from hand to your raiding room. If you do so, choose one card from your clock and add it to your hand, and then place the top card of your deck to your clock. Place two of your detective character to rest, and you may swap one card from your level area with one card from your Way King Room.
Basically, this has best synergy with the last week's level 3 Ellie, which the combat combo was a treasure bar. So every time you trigger a treasure bar, it's essentially discard. You could discard the treasure bar and grab an actual card you could use.
What? I don't know.
That's what it works. That's how it works, man. You trigger treasure bar, you discard the treasure bar, and you could discard the treasure bar and then pick a card you could use from your clock, assuming there's something in your clock,
Yeah. I assume there's something in your clock.
which should be like what 80% of your game.
No, but what won't the trigger happen first?
Yes, it will trigger
No,
happen
add it
first.
to your-
It'll add,
Oh,
the
what I
treasure
meant
the
is
treasure
just-
bar will be in your hand by the time this card effect activates.
Okay, I thought it was after. Okay, never mind. Then I guess good.
On top of that, it's a okay support. Assist 500 is not the best thing,
Oh no,
and
1/0. Yeah, no, bad.
no,
That is-
it can also at least level swap. So this, if people are planning to play the level 3 LE, this could be an alternative to a +1 that can't be antied. Of course, it has to play against the older LE, which is global 500 and rest 2 to swap a level. Swap is level zone. As I said for last week, swapping the level zone is important for the detective Milky Holmes. So it's not a bad alternative if you plan to play LE. Play the level 3 LE, the new one.
Next card, food collection, green event, 2/2. Choose one card from a clock, add it to your hand, and place this card to memory.
I guess you could call it a heal 1 for 2 stock, which is basically a character.
Yep, I'd rather play a character.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd rather play a character, but at least you could bypass anti-heal if it's predominant in your meta.
Come
and
on,
grab a character you could use, I suppose.
I don't know.
It seems too, I don't know.
Run all the gold bars, right? 8 gold bars.
I guess in a sense you could grab this with a gold bar too. I mean with the with the 1/0 L we just talked about, but it's hard to say how good this card is. I'd say it's pretty mediocre actually. It's mediocre.
I just like the tentacle like food. That's all I like. Everything else is bad.
Isn't that just noodle?
I don't know. I haven't watched the series, but
I never watched the series either. I read the manga more.
Whatever, it's tentacles. If you like tentacles, run this card. If you don't like tentacles, then don't run it. Next card. Yukata Dress Narrow, yellow character 3/2, 10k, detective and sweets trait. First ability, when this card is played from your hand to your stage, and you have 4 or more other detective characters on your stage, you're going to place the top card of your deck to your stock. Second ability, when this card is played from your hand to your stage, choose up to one of your opponent's character, return it to its owner's hand, and this card gets plus 2k power until the end of this turn. Interesting.
Interesting, yes. It could be 3/1 10k, but the other effect is pretty mediocre.
Yep.
If it had some sort of on reverse effect, like on reverse burn 1 or on reverse return 1 more character, or
The power has to be way lower. It has to be like
yeah,
9.
or maybe you could just yeah. I guess you're right. It's hard.
It's so good.
Bounce is good against certain matchups.
Okay, yeah, against certain matchup. Since any character, it doesn't have to be
It has to be one of your opponent characters. You cannot bounce one of your characters. So
Well, still, you can bounce the back row if you have problem getting them over or something. I don't know.
I don't know if it said if this card lets you bounce any character, like bounce one of your own characters, then I think it'll be much better. But yeah, I think this is like probably not even be played, to be honest.
I don't know.
Not in the main deck at least. Not in the main one. I think a Zero fan deck might run this card anyways.
Obviously.
The Night Shadow would know more about it. I'd never seen a Nero deck before, so he said something about it. So that's his territory, and he's not here today.
Sadly. Moving on. Next card, Christmas Girl Nero. Yellow character 2/1, 7.5k. Detective and Swiss trait. First ability. When this card is played from your hand to your stage, you may pay the cost, which is pay 1 and ditch 1 Climax from your hand. If you do so, choose 1 Climax from your waiting room and return it to your hand. Second ability, when a Climax the fluffy thing in the forest, which is a yellow stock 1 soul 1, is played in your Climax border, you may pay the cost, which is you send this card to the waiting room. If you do so, you may choose up to 1 Yukana Dress Nero or Overdrive Tokui Sora from your hand and play it onto the original border of this card.
Just to clarify, Overdrive Tokui Sora is most likely the SSP version of this card, the level 3 card.
Oh right, yeah.
Because the Night Shadow kind of made it clear that the level 3s have different names, but under the same name restriction, and they do the same thing.
Yep, Bushura just wants to sell the 3D sign.
I suppose as a Climax face changer, it's actually decent. I think.
Guess.
I mean, like,
it doesn't cost any stock.
It costs 1, but then you gain 1 back with Nero, yeah. And then because of the stock 1, so you actually gain a stock, and you can even send this card to stock because it's on play, right? So you could send that to waiting room, play Nero, stock 1 off the top, or is it stock 1 off the top? Yeah, off the top. Then send this card off to send this change into the stock with the Climax. And the fact is, it could
no, it's not top stock. It's waiting room stock. What are you talking
about? No, I mean with the level 3 Nero.
Okay, yeah, never.
So you've like gained 2 stocks. Gain 2 stock if cost of 1 stock. So it's a +1 stock, I suppose you call it like that.
I guess.
And if you need to, you could discard a Climax, pick up the Climax, change. Mm-hmm. The only problem I would see is getting the level 3 Nero in your hand.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I think it's pretty shit.
It's from your hand and it's not from your waiting room.
Yeah, it's from your hand. It's harder to play because it is technically a -2 in your hand. And the level 3 isn't like the best thing to play. It's not really the best thing to play. It's a good early drop for sure, but it's not the best thing to play.
It's a situational, yeah.
It's a situational thing.
And you don't really want to. I don't think you want to early drop because you don't want to bounce some like for example, you're bouncing level 1 or something. You obviously don't want to do that.
Bounce level 1 or bounce to level 2. It depends. Like we said before, it depends on the targets. But I think for the most part, it won't matter. If it's something like, I don't know, a 2/2, then I think it'd be worth. Yeah. If it's like 2/1 that you cannot deal with, I suppose it's worth. It's like a support that costs something, or a support that's really important, like let's say the Angel Beat Global Encore. Yeah, suddenly we're talking about the lower 3 again.
Yeah, no, because they're changing that, but yeah. I don't think it's a good early drop.
I think it's a decent early drop. It's just the lower 3 is just not great.
The what I meant is a decent early drop into level 3.
Yeah, I think it's a decent early drop into a rather situational lower 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's card situational. I don't think you would play this in the main deck.
Enough about those 2 cards. Third one. Next card. Wacky Nero. It's a 1/0/2/5. It's a 3k counter. But when you use this card's backup, swap 1 card in your level area with 1 Climax from your waiting room.
Okay, just to clarify, this card is actually a reprint with a level 3 1/0/3k counter as a PR. So basically now you can write 8 1/0/3k counters that level swaps.
With Climaxes.
Well, that's supposed to be the demerit, but with this set, that's not even a demerit.
Okay, I don't know because I assume you need certain levels or certain stuff in your
If you're not a good number of the good cards requires a level swap, and this is on your opponent's turn. Obviously, you cannot do that. This is these counters are the only way to do it.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Of course, the demerit, there's barely any demerit to this card
Other than Climax.
considering the set. But the only real demerit I would suppose you could call it is just before you refresh, then the card is gonna be pretty bad to use because you lose the climax and you've gained 2 regular cards back in your ring room. It hurts your compression. It could that, and I think that could be important.
Yep, it is important. Not could. 100% is. Guess move on. Next card. It's a Blatant Foreshadowing. Yellow event 1/0. Place one of your detective characters in stand to rest. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 detective character. Show it to your opponent at your hand and shuffle your deck.
Bad card.
Yeah, I don't like these 1/0s. I mean.
No, the cost is fine. The problem is that your level swap requires you to rest 2 cards.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, now I think about it, it might be okay with the level 2 change to level 3 card because you just rest the 2/1 and then change it to level 3.
I guess, but I personally don't like just 1/0 search with no other benefit by itself. But like, if it's something like Dependent and Nisei Core, yeah, I get that. But if it's just like search and that's it, like
well, it's the fact that it has to go to stand to rest makes it hard to use in the main detective deck already. Because it requires you to rest 2 to level swap, and that's going to be important. So with one of your cards already in rest, you can't really. If you really want to level swap, that means you're losing 1 attack without if you don't play over.
Okay.
Card's bad. I think it might actually work better in a Nero fan deck just because of the level 2 to 3 change. But that's about it.
I don't like it. Guess I'll move on. Next card is Yukata Dress Sharo as a red 3/2, 9.5k. Detective and camera trait. When you have 6 or more climaxes in your waiting room, this card loses 1 level in your hand. When its second ability, when you have 2 or more other detective characters, this gains +1k. Third ability is when this card is played from hand to your stage, you can place the top card of your clock to your waiting room.
It's okay, I guess.
It's pretty okay, and it looks like okay, never mind.
It's basically a 10.5 early drop if you have 6 or more in your waiting room. That might be hard sometimes that could be hard.
Yep.
Pretty, normal. It's nothing to talk about.
What?
You don't think it's normal? What do you want to talk about? The art? Okay, let's talk about the art.
There's not much to talk about, but no, it's just pretty common.
It's like,
there's not much to say.
It's not much to say. It's pretty.
You sure? You
it's
get
pretty
the
standard.
Level down, heal.
It's pretty standard.
Little bit extra power, yeah, standard.
It's a double R. Okay, yeah, it's a pretty okay. It's like whatever.
Moving on. Next card. Cool Senior. ? Cool Senior. Sharo. Yellow character 0/0, 1.5k. Detective and camera trait. First ability act. Place 2 of your detective characters to rest. Swap 1 card from your level area with 1 card from your waiting room. Second ability. It's Brainstorm. Pay 1. It's a Brainstorm for Climax detective trait, and then you add it to your hand and dish 1 for each one you searched. Yeah.
What's to say about this card to be honest? As everyone knows, Wicked Home is lacking in brainstorms, but with this recent event,
that's all.
Recent events, that's no longer the case.
This one is search.
It's a spammable search, so yeah, that's good.
Oh, you have to ditch 1, but it's still spammable. Whatever.
It's a level swap, so it could act as a backup level swap if you really had to.
I think it's really good.
It's okay. I think it's okay. You rather have support, but I guess you could put this in the front row and then just whatever, just lose it.
Just lose it. Just get that 1 extra stock. Just whatever.
I don't know. If it had a support, an actual support type, I think it would be okay. But
the abilities are pretty crucial for Monkey Homes as I see it, so I don't think they can put that many abilities on 1 card.
I guess so. It's a brainstorm. I think the detective decks will be running this card anyways. So yeah.
Moving on to stop being useless. Sharo, yellow character 1/0, 4k. Detective, and Camera trait. This ability can only be activated once per turn. When you place a Climax into your level area, this card gains 2.5k until end of turn. Second ability, when this card declares an attack with a Climax, let's go home and have some food, which is a 2-1 on your Climax border. All your characters gain +1 soul until end of this turn. Interesting.
Wow, that first ability. It's always in the last once before. It's always been just level swap. This one requires you to put a climax in there.
Well, we saw that 1-0, the 1-0 counter we were talking about. So,
Well, if you're so confident that you will not refresh, I suppose you could level swap a climax. But the problem is there is a 1-0 Cordelia card that is 45. It gains 1k if you have a level 2 or higher experience. That means the regular level swap ability is level swap anything for an extra 1/5. So this card kind of conflicts with that, kind of. Because,
hey, 2-5 or 1-5, you gotta take the risk for the extra 1k power.
But the thing is, it's only like 500 more power than the original one, and even then, it's still this card will be Cordelia will be 500 more because it'll be 7k when it attacks.
Yeah, I guess. 2k1. So balls deep.
I suppose the climax is like okay. But the problem with most 2k1 soul climax combos is the fact that you can't gain any more soul except for that one extra soul.
Yep, but
this card kind of fixed that.
It's good. I like the second ability.
The second ability is, I think it's actually decently okay for 2k1 soul. 2k1 soul has always been one of those problems with soul cards. The first one is pretty bleh. If you consider the rest of the other level swap cards.
Okay, I'm not that familiar with the other cards, so just not comment on that. Moving on, level cop Kokoro, red character 3/2, 10k, police and mask trait, I believe. When you have 2 or more other 5 seconds before interruption Kokoro on your stage, this card loses 1 level in your hand. Second ability, when this card is played from your hand to your stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a police character, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. And they can cancel it, of course. Last ability, when you play a Climax onto your Climax border, this gains plus 1.5 power until the end of this turn.
I'll be honest, I don't really see a good reason to drop this early unless their opponent's already almost dead.
I guess. I don't know. Seeing this card just makes me think of Nisekoi, because just reminds me of Chitoge and Marika like mixed together into.
Not really. They're not even close.
I don't know. Well, the second ability is the English Marika, and then the last ability is Chitoge TD. But too much Nisekoi recently, so probably that's why I think that way.
In any case, I don't think this is a card you should be dropping this like at level 2 if your opponent's like not even close to dying.
Yeah, you sort of want to push for gain.
You don't
kill them.
Unless you have no other plays, then I suppose it's an option.
Yeah, I think it's an okay card.
Honestly, it's an okay card. It's just the ability to drop at level 2 is kind of whatever on this card because it doesn't really end the game that quickly for you.
Well, before we actually talk about the first ability, you should look at the other card. But judging from the other 2 abilities, I think that this card is pretty good.
I think it's decent enough at level 3. At level 3 is decent enough. At level 2, whatever.
Well, now we look at the other card, the level 3 mentioned, which is 5 seconds before interruption, Kokoro. Red character 002k, police and mask trait. When this card is played from hand to your stage, choose one of the other police characters. It gains plus 1k till end of this turn. Second ability is a brainstorm. Pay 1, place this card to rest, and for every climax, every climax among the cards, choose 1 police character from your waiting room and return it to your hand. It's decent.
It's decent. I'm not gonna say anything. It's decent enough to play.
Yeah, but most cases, going back to the level 3, I don't think you'll have 2 of these on your stage.
Not likely, because
they don't give power really. But sure, you can use them as a 1k boost on play. But in most cases, you only have like 1 in the back row as brainstorm. So, yeah.
The brainstorm is good. I don't know I think you'll be playing this over the Himayori brainstorm that was revealed last week for the police. Unless you're really lacking in green, then it's another story.
Okay.
I suppose in a sense that Himayori also works good with Kokoro, but this card is kind of required to give the level 3 Kokoro a level reduction. So there goes your options, right?
I don't know, I just don't see the level reduction actually happening in those cases.
I don't. It's pretty. Even if you could do it, I don't think you should do it.
Yeah, in most cases you won't do it unless unless you're really ahead and you're like level 2 and you're probably like a 3-4
Like
or
three,
something.
3-3. I say at
Three,
least
three,
three,
yes,
at least
yes.
3-3, or at
Yeah,
least
so
two,
I don't
three,
know.
two, 3-3. That's where you should be throwing Kokoro, or even at a 3-0, it's okay.
Well, I guess moving on. Fake Kokoro, ready event 3-3. When you do not have a police character, you cannot play this card from hand. Deal X damage to your opponent, where X is the number of Climax in your waiting room.
You get
Choose one character and a good,
I don't know.
interesting card.
I don't think it justifies the cost.
It's an interesting card, but it's a troll deck, like my shotgun party deck, or when people who play blackjack in Miku second. It's not quote unquote competitive or good, but if you want to build a gimmick deck out of it, go ahead.
It's pretty bad. It really depends on the number of climax inside your breeding room, and I don't know. Just 4K at that power, it feels like whatever.
It depends.
It depends on what you're fighting against, honestly. If you're fighting against like a card like Nico, then I think it's totally worth trying. But other than that, it's like whatever.
I don't know. Seems interesting to play, but I'm not a Milky Home player, so yeah, you won't see me build stupid deck for you. Moving on. Now we have Phantom Thief. Violet Phantom Thief, Violet Shadow, blue character 2/6K, and Phantom Thief and Mask's trait. First ability, assist all of your characters in front of this card with Alice in its name or with Phantom Thief trait. Gain plus 1.5k power. Second ability, during the start of your encore step and the climax color the Phantom is in your climax border, which I believe is a gate, or as we call it, Pants trigger, is in your climax border. Choose up to 2 of your other characters with Phantom Thief trait or Alice in their names. Place them to your memory. Start of your draw phase. Place those characters from memory onto separate borders or stage, and those gain plus 2k until that ends turn. Okay, that was a lot of words. So Time Machine, yay!
Yeah, I guess you could call it like that.
Yeah, that's all I have to. It's Time Machine and it's honest assist, so pretty good.
It's okay. Actually, it's decent enough, I guess, if you look at it like that.
I mean,
Time machine for any card you play, for any Phantom Thief you play. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
So.
I won't argue. It's. I think it's better than Miku Time Machine because any Phantom Thief, which I assume there are quite a lot. You can just YOLO with them. 1k, 1 hit for 2 soul. YOLO, come back. Maybe beat your opponent character with that extra 2k. Something. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
Move on. It's a good card. White Phantom Thief. Great. White Fallen Angel. Okay. Blue character 1/0. 4.5k. Phantom Thief and Mask. You don't say. When you have another Black Phantom Thief Dark Side Revolution on your stage, this gains plus 4k power and the following ability. Auto during the end of your turn, place this card to your waiting room. Second ability, when this card reverses its opponent in battle in the climax color of the Phantom, which is the pants, so your deck for up to 1 Phantom Thief character, shows your opponent at your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Can't really talk about this card without talking about the other card.
Okay, sure. We'll go to the other card. Black Phantom Thief Dark Side Revolution. Blue character 1/0, 4.5k, Phantom Thief, and Max Trade. When you have another White Phantom Thief, Great White Fallen Angel, the name is so damn long, this card gains plus 4k power and the following ability. Auto during any return, place this card to your waiting room. When this card declares attack with Climax colors of the Phantom on your Climax border, choose one of your Phantom Thief characters and it gains 2.5k to the end of this turn.
It's pretty bad if you're not already level 2.
Well, I guess you sort of have to combo. Well, you don't have to combo with the level 2.
It's ideal.
Ideal, yeah. But you don't have to.
Wait a minute, I just realized. No, actually, it won't work like that. if one of them do lose their battle, technically you only lose that card because it's at the end of the turn they get sent to the waiting room. So on the encore phase it'll be gone for one of them, but and
Yeah,
the other
so
one will be the other one will be saved
yeah,
in a sense. But
it's not that bad, honestly.
it, in any case, it technically costly is 8-5 beaters if you're not using the climax. If you are using the climax, it's
Oh my
9-5
God.
9-5 for one of them, and the other one is a potential 12k. These are unassisted.
Yeah, and if you combo 2-1 and you say you get the time machine effect and you go pretty YOLO balls deep and you do good
It's
stuff.
I think this whole climax combo is essential. Is kind of just do it.
Yep.
I think it's pretty whatever. But if you're
I
fighting
like it.
if you're fighting against against high power decks, this is like a pretty ham way of trying to beat them without any cost to you.
Yep.
Except losing 2 cards. But if they counter, you're gonna lose them anyways.
After Black White Phantom Thief combo, we have Invitation to be a Phantom Thief. Blue event 1-0. It's a counter. If you have one or fewer climaxes in your waiting room, you can place this card from your hand. Look at the top 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose one Phantom Thief amongst them, add it to your hand, and discard the remaining cards to your waiting room.
You could look at it as a counter bill.
Jinketsu.
What? Where did that come from?
Kill Jinketsu. Look at top 4.
But this is a counter.
It's even better. It's even better than Jinketsu. That's all I have to say.
Because it's a counter, it has more value, obviously.
Yep.
Because it's technically a free bill 4.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really
Is this before they deal damage or after?
This is before they deal damage. Counter, it's counter then damage.
So technically you could mill out, hope to cancel later, or it could end up badly and you mill at your climax. But
it's obviously worth more if you do it like if you have like exactly 4 cards left in your deck and you know they're all like regular cards.
Yeah, regular cards,
because then you just pick one of them up, dump the rest. The event will still be out because it's still in resolution.
Yup, and then you refresh and then you profit.
And then the event itself is in the waiting room because it's still in resolution because it's still under effect. It's actually a decent enough counter to use actually.
Yeah, it's worth.
Yeah, that's it. that's
it.
Yeah, that's it.
Should I go to the other event? Now we're sort of done with Phantom Thief.
We are.
Sort of.
Yes,
I don't know.
we are.
Okay, we are. Warm Atmosphere. Alice, green character 00, 1.5k, detective trait. All of your other detective characters gain 500 power. Second ability act, pay one. Place 2 favorite characters to rest. Choose 1 card from a clock, return to your hand. Choose 1 card from your hand and put it into your clock. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Obviously not good. No, obviously not good. Obviously not good for the regular Phantom Thief deck, I suppose you call it.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I just know global assist is always good in my opinion.
The regular, like I said, with the regular one, it's hard to use because it requires you to rest 2.
Oh, okay.
Remember, you have to rest. You have to rest 2 level swap.
But even without, you could go for that global assist. I don't know. I'd like global assist.
Because there's already a 1-0 global assist for detective, and does level swap.
Okay, yeah. Never mind then.
So this is like, I think it's really only for the Alice and Cosby deck,
okay.
or even like standard detective deck, like non-level swap.
Next card, staying over Alice, green character 105k. If you have a certain card, which is detective in training Kazumi, in your level zone, this card gains plus 1.5k. Bad
card.
6.5k, 6.5 on 1-0. That's dependent on a card in your level zone. No.
It's pretty bad. The fact is, the set does technically be able to level zone swap, makes it better, I suppose. Yeah. But it's still pretty bad because you have to play a bad card to play this card.
You have to play a bad card. Speaking of the bad card, I think we should talk about the quote-unquote bad card. Detective in Training Kazumi, yellow character 116k, detective trait. During your own turn, this gains 1k, and it has Clock Encore. Meh.
What do you mean? I think it's okay. It's pretty standard.
I know. But looking at the two cards, it's a 117k your turn, 6k clock encore. Sure. I don't know. It's a pretty common card, and I don't know what to say about it.
It's a pretty common card. It's nothing too special.
Yeah. Moving on, Detective in Training Alice. Yellow character 1/1, 4.5k. Detective trait has assist. All of your detective characters in front of this card gains power plus X, which X is the level of that character multiplied by 500. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may pay one, ditch one. If you do, search your deck for up to one character with experience ability, show it to your opponent at your hand, and shuffle your deck.
At least it works as a support and a searcher at the same time.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know about, because it doesn't seem like there are any good early level 3s you could play from what you were talking about earlier in the podcast. So I don't know if the level assist is really that necessary.
Even especially at level 1, it's not that necessary. So
yeah, obviously.
So it's like whatever. I suppose you could look at it as a searcher for experience cards. There is a good level 3 drop in the old Bookie Homes. It's a changer from a 2/1 that rests itself to gain a stock and then changes to a card with experience 6. If you experience 6, it gains like 3k, and it's a 10k that heals. So I'm not saying that it's bad. There's no real good early drops. It's just not relevant to the main deck, regular deck. But if you look at it as like pretty standard detective, I think it'll be okay, because they had even in the end they had a 1/1 level assist for detective before. This is like another one for them.
Okay, not much for me. Next card, Phantom Thief debut. Green event 1/0. Look at the top 4 cards from top of your deck. Choose one character card with Alice or Kazumi in his name at your hand. Then discard any remaining cards to your ring room. Oh, they changed the Phantom Thief. Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah. Spoilers. Even though I haven't watched the series at all, but spoilers. Oh my god.
It's nothing to talk about. It's like whatever, pretty standard.
I assume it goes for Alice Kazumi deck. So yeah,
it's quite. If the names
pretty common.
Yeah. The name, but they make that obvious. It's for Alice Kazumi.
Dual waifu deck. However you want to call it, dual waifu deck. Last card, I think. Unless something went wrong. I hope it's not. Ideal affiliated Kazumi's father. Green character 1/0, detective and glasses. Oh wait, he's 5k. Wait, I just detective and glasses trait. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may dish one card from hand to waiting room. If you do so, you may choose one Phantom Thief debut from the waiting room, return it to your hand. Okay.
Actually, I think it might be okay to play. Think of it this way: you discard a Climax, and then you like mill 4 more cards.
Yep, I guess. And technically, this has Kazumi in its name, so.
It becomes a fallible target, so it could if you find nothing, this card popped up. You could pick this card up and do it again.
Yep.
And the power on this card is not bad, honestly. It's a 1/5k. It's 500 less, so
yeah.
It's not bad, honestly. Yeah. Obviously, only meant for the Kazumi Alice deck. So if that wasn't obvious already.
Well, it does have Kazumi in it, so it's good enough. Think that's it. So just some extra news in case some people missed it. We have Madoka Rebellion, which is the movie coming out on May 15th, and we have Love Live plus School Idol Festival set that has a TDM booster on June 13th.
The Madoka set was way overdue. Madoka was released at what? 2011?
I don't know.
2011, 2012, a long time ago. It's actually around the same. Madoka was released pretty close to when I started playing, so at least 3 or 4 years. And Love Live has another set. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, print the money, but just like Kantai. So just another note I want to make, just in case people are wondering, why is the card of the day not based on day? Because Search and someone edited it and changed the order, just in case someone asks or something.
You know what? Who cares?
Just saying. So pretty much that's it. So rate, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time.
Bye.